What's good? What's good? What's good? Welcome back to another episode of the Sweet Cherry Podcast. I am your host, Cherry, and if you are new, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. We always love and appreciate you all. Before we jump into things, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hook your girl up, follow with a friend, share with a friend. We got the topics, we got the juice. So, share it, participate. Let us know in the comments what you feel and engage in our topics here on the Sweet Cherry Podcast because we love it all. So yeah, I'm going to jump in. Here we go. Speaking negativity into yourself, into your life. Yeah, I've said many times, if you watched in previous episodes, I've always said that I am pretty much a happy, positive person. I always look for the best, and I always think things will work out and pan out. I am never one to go with a negative outcome initially. And I probably could be annoying, I'm sure, with some people that, you know, with my bright demeanor. I could probably be a little annoying with certain things, I guess. But I am a firm believer that if you speak negativity into your life, that is what you're going to get. Like if you wake up in the morning and are already dreading life, or waking up and your first initial thought is of worry, um, or already thinking like, this day is probably going to be a shit show. If you're that type of person, I I think that you carry negativity and you bring that around you, and it's just going to be around you because if that's the way that you are, you're just constantly bringing that negative air into, your space, into your life. And you're always only going to see, or majority of the time, only going to see the negative things that are going on, you know? And I know a few people that are like that, Um and I'm like, stop being so negative. Like, let's look at the glass half full first rather than half empty. I am that girl. And don't get me wrong, like there are times that I've think negatively as well, not often. Cuz I'm a very kind of easygoing person. I've said this before, like I'm very nonchalant and I brush stuff off my shoulders, and which is also not always a good thing, you know but I am definitely not the, oh my god, the world is going to end tomorrow for whatever reason, you know. Um and that's me. I feel like if you speak positivity, or if you look on the bright side, um that's how I tend to be. I'm a look on the bright side type person, and I feel like it makes things a little lighter in life, and I don't call for that energy or that negativity, like it's not the end of the freaking world, like chill out, you know and I know people that are like constantly pointing out the negative in situations, and I'm just like, well, at least ba 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 ba, or you know um And so I'm like a firm believer, like if you speak that negative energy into existence, it's going to pop up, you know? And those people usually only see negativity, until you start pointing out positives and stuff like that. And then sometimes they'll even override your positive with something negative, and it's just like, dude, yes, there's always a chance that something can go wrong somewhere, you know? Yes, there's always a chance, you know, that things aren't gonna pan out the way you would hope. We all have bad days, we all go through our moments, but rather than having that as your first thought, why not have your first thought as something positive? Like, you know what? Damn. I mean, even if it comes down to like this month, I don't have enough money to pay my credit card, you know? Does it suck? Yes. Will you get a fee? Yes. But you know what? Did you have enough money to cover your rent? You have food on your table? Then, all right. And then, even so, like, let's say you don't have enough to cover your rent, you know? I'm the type that's like, you know what? Let me try to hustle a little something and make a couple extra bucks so I can make it. And if I can't, you know what? Let me talk to my landlord and just let them know or express to them I am going through a little issue. I will have it as soon as I can get it. As soon as I get it, here's a portion of it. You know, like I'm that type of, let's try to fix this, or let's try to find a solution that will work, rather than cry about it and be all up in arms and, you know, type of deal. Or, that's just, because I feel like if you dwell on so much, you just allowing the space to be taken over by negative energy, toxic energy. And I don't have time for that. Like, there's too much going on in the world. You know, I know people that'll be like, oh, it's so hard. I got all these bills. La, 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 la. And I'm like, there are like poor people that are living in the street, like children that live in poverty stricken areas who would give anything to have even a quarter of what you have. So stop your shit, you know? And I've said it multiple times to people, like, oh, if we're gonna lose everything, oh, we're gonna, uh, 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 like, do you have a job? Can you make money? Is there something that you could do, a side hustle that you can do, even for the temporary, that you can do to gain a little extra income when need be? Do you have a job where you can work overtime? It's not going to be the end of the world. We could figure it out. You could do it. Like, I'm that. And some people are like, just let me have my fucking moment, bitch. And like, I don't like to carry negative energy. And I am like, why are you so negative? Like, everything is so negative. You're gonna go outside. Oh, I mean, it's one thing to be caring and be like, oh, please, be careful out there. Make sure you're, you know, looking around your surroundings and stuff like that. But to be like, oh my God, you shouldn't do this and da 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 this, da, 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 like, you can't live like that. You can't live like that. I mean, And then you could say, "Oh, you're gonna say you can't live with that and continue what you're doing, and then something bad happen." And then I'm gonna just be like, you know what? It Anything bad could happen at any time. You could be at home and the ceiling fall on your head. Okay? So it doesn't matter. Does it pose a higher threat if you go out and do something or whatever the case may be? Yeah, but that's with anything, you know? And I just don't really have the time to have so much negative energy um and outlook on things. Like there's I think there's always something to look forward to, you know? Everyone goes through a rough patch. Everybody, you know? And some people that I know that they go through rough patches and whatever, and I'm like, you know, have your moment, but pick yourself up. And they do, you know, they pick themselves up and they carry on and stuff like that. And it's like, it'll get better. It might get a little better. It might not be perfect the way you want it, and you're tired and so on and so forth. But again, you know, you have a roof over your head, you have food on your table, you have people around you, you have, you know, if you need some type of support or something, you know, and that's it. Like we're just gonna continue on. But I I have my moments, you know, I'm not perfect either, where I find myself to be a little bit negative or sulking on things of the past, or, you know, and then sometimes I just have to snap myself out of it because I'm not going to carry that with me, you know, and I don't want it to leak into my household or people in my household. Like, mm-mm. When sometimes my partner has that negative vibe or energy and on the constant complaint about something, I'm like, "Ooh, do, 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 do," you know, I'm not gonna let it, I'm not gonna let it sink into me. You know, we'll find a way to figure something out. Like we're creative, we have jobs, something will pan out. It's not the end of the world, you know? I am not like, oh my God, the world is ending type of person. And that's you know, just how I carry myself, but I'm not in on the negative, you know. I Of course I wake up and I go, "Ugh." Sometimes I go, "I look like shit. Damn, I'm getting old." You know, my life isn't the same that I used to be. I'm not the same person that I used to be. No one's around like they used to be. And, you know, I'm not dwelling on any of that. Like, it's going to happen. I'm going to get older. My looks are going to change, so on and so forth. Not to be vain or anything, but, you know, people aren't around like they used to be. They got things to do too, you know? People move out, people move different places. You know, it's not like you're an adult now. You gotta go carry on, and you gotta just move on. You know, you take your moments of sadness, but for every day, no, you can't do it. Can't do this every day. And you know, I've had a couple of friends like tell me like that negative energy will drain you and the people you're around, because they start to pick up on it and then they start to feed on it and then they start, you know, feeling that negative and thinking negative and stuff like that. And it's very true. It's very, very true, because it's very easy to dwell on what you don't have or what's going on, because everybody has issues, you know, everybody has problems, everybody got something going on, and it's very easy to fixate on on the wrong, you know? Just the same thing, even on the in the outside world, everybody is quick to point at your lacking, you know? Quick to point at your mistakes, quick to point out bad behavior, but they're never quick to point out the good that you have done as quickly, until you start reminding them like, oh, well, yeah, but you remember when this, da, 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 da," that's also a thing where, people always, um, tend to go for that negative, what you did bad and your failures and stuff like that. And they forget all the good that you did, all the times that you were there, all the things that you've done, and they focus on the bad, you know? So even as a society, people do that. But in your own life, to view yourself that way, or to view your life that way, or there are times, yeah, you there that you can have like a bad streak, a bad luck streak, and stuff like that. But it's within those times that, one, when you come out of it, you came out stronger, you know, um, and you rise above it, and now you're moving on to something else. And within that bad streak, or that bad luck streak, or whatever, there is always something happening that you can say, you know what, at least I got this and this going on at this moment. So I don't have to hold on to that complete negative life is failing type of vibe. But yeah, that's how I work. I try to be positive all the time, and even in my moments of when I'm not feeling so positive, you know, and pick myself up, and you know what? Okay, today I'm not in the mood, but tomorrow, whatever, I'll be better, and at least I'm home. I can do what I want, and life will be all right. This is not the end of the world. I really strongly feel like you gotta speak positivity into yourself and into your life, because sometimes you don't have a cheerleader in life. You gotta be your own cheerleader. So, and if you're constantly putting yourself down, 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 that's all you're gonna see. You're just gonna see down, negative stuff. So I encourage people to, you know, find the good in things, even when they're not in the best situation. Find the good in yourself. You having a bad moment, but at least you woke up out of bed and you're trying, you know? So I always encourage that. Speaks positivity into your life, into yourself. Give yourself a pep talk if you need to. And, carry on, carry on. Um, and that's what I will say about that. And that is the conclusion of my episode. Let me know what you think. Do you people can use affirmations and stuff like that? Do you use affirmations? Do you think that they work? Do you know people that are negative? And I've caught myself being brought down by negativity, a few times, but I always pick myself up, because I am a bright, shining star, and no one is going to dim my light for long anyway. But yeah, so that is it for this episode. Again, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I will catch you on the next one. Later.